Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to board members, staff, council, guests. Good morning. This is the first time I have had the honor of being the very temporary chair of this meeting, and I am thrilled and honored to do so as we participate in the opening of New York City and New York State, and it is great to be back. So on that note, I look forward to many more meetings and continued life coming back to our city and state. Now, Sarah has a legal introduction to read, and take it away, Sarah.
I do, thank you. Today's meeting is being held via video conference pursuant to section 3.7 of the DASNY bylaws and the applicable provisions of the New York State Open Meetings Law. Together, these provisions do authorize the board chair to call for a video conference meeting when a quorum of the board in one location is not possible or practicable. And the chair has in fact done that. Those members present in one of the 3 DASNY offices today in New York City, Albany, and Buffalo may vote on matters before them, and these locations are open to the public. The public may also join remotely and has been provided with that information. Our board chair, Al Carney, and our vice chair, John Johnson, are joining us by telephone today, as is member Joan Sullivan. Beryl Snyder, our board secretary, will be chairing today's meeting from the New York City office. And I will read the roll as to who is here, and then I will turn it over to you, Madam Secretary. In the New York City office, we have with us Beryl Snyder, who, as I said, will be chairing the meeting, Wellington Chen and Jerry Romsky. In the Buffalo office, we have with us John Gardner and Janice McKinney. And here in the Albany office, we have Tracy Raleigh from DOH and Darby Grassi from the Division of the Budget. Joining us by phone, we have Al Carney, our board chair, John Johnson, Joan Sullivan, as I mentioned, also Ruben McDaniel as our president, Ricardo Salomon, Deb Fasser, and Jeffrey Gordon. DASNY staff here in Albany are Paul Koopman, Caroline Griffin, Kim Ellis, Portia Lee, Nadine Fontaine, Diane Folletti, and myself, Sarah Richards. And from Bond Counsel, who will be doing the presentation via Zoom, is Megan Burke and Michelle Hutchinson, and Gerard Klauser from our public finance group is also here in Albany to make the presentation. And I don't think I forgot everyone, hopefully. So I will turn it back to you, Ms. Snyder.
Thank you, Sarah. The first order of business will be the approval of the transcript from the prior meeting. June 23rd. I know everyone has had a chance to review the transcript. Does anyone have any comments or changes? May I have a motion to adopt the transcript?
I'll give that motion.
Thank you, Jerry. Is there a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? I don't think so. And now I'd like to turn it over to Gerard Romsky for the Finance Committee report.
Thank you very much, Beryl. The Finance Committee met a couple of moments ago in the New York office by video conferencing. And after some discussion, we unanimously agreed to recommend approval of the Iona College revised offering that's coming before the full board in a couple of seconds. And that concludes my report unless anyone has any questions or concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Romsky.
By the way, we also adopted the meeting minutes from the June 22nd meeting. Sorry about that.
Thank you. We just adopted our own minutes, so thank you, Mr. Koopman. Please introduce the next item on the agenda for the board, the adoption of the financing documents.
Good morning, everyone. Behind tab number 3 is the Iona College transaction summary update with Gerard Klauser of DASNY, Megan Burke, Esquire of Mintz, Levin, Cohn, Ferris, Glovsky, and Papeo, PC, and Michelle Hutchinson, Esquire of Brown, Hutchison, LLP, co-bond counsel presenting. Gerard?
Good morning. Thank you, Paul. Good morning, Madam Secretary, members of the board, DASNY senior staff, and guests. The transaction summary report update provided to the members is requesting the adoption of documents for the Iona College revenue bonds. This transaction will include tax exempt and or taxable fixed and or variable rate bonds in one or more series at one or more times through a negotiated sale and or a private placement. The updates since the resolution to proceed in June. The original presentation included the necessary sizing for the inclusion of the refunding of the Iona College Series 2012B bonds. Since the resolution to proceed, it has been determined that by doing a forward settlement for the refunding of the 2012A and 2012B bonds, it will allow for the issuance of tax exempt bonds as opposed to taxable, which was shown in the original sizing. And there was also increased savings as a result of the forward. In addition, the security package necessary to market the bonds will no longer include a mortgage or a lien on tuition receipts or other assets of the college. Also, there is a small taxable component that remains. It's related to the new money transaction, and this taxable component exists to include for the to provide Iona with ultimate flexibility for the Brownsville campus. We've secured the following approval since the June board. The resolution to proceed was June 3. PACB authorization was received June 16th. The TEFRA notice was published June 13th. Hearing is scheduled for July 21, and the seeker completion was done on July 12. I defer to bond counsel for the document review. Megan and Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle Hutchinson from Brown Hutchinson LLP as co-bond counsel for the proposed financing. Before you, for your consideration, is the adoption of a new Iona College revenue bond resolution authorizing the issuance of multiple series of bonds at one or more times, and a series resolution authorizing the issuance of up to $60 million of authorized bonds on behalf of Iona College as described by Gerard. The authorized bonds will be special obligations of DASNY secured by the pledge and assignment of revenue and the monies and investments held in the funds and accounts established by the resolutions. The series resolution delegates to certain officers of the authority to finalize the terms in accordance with certain parameters, including that the authorized bonds mature no later than 31 years, the July 1st, following issuance. The series resolution also authorizes DASNY to enter into one or more loan agreements and other transaction documents. Now, Megan Burke from Mintz, the other co-bond counsel, will describe the loan agreement.
Thank you, Michelle, and good morning, everyone. So as part of the proposed financing, DASNY and the college will execute loan agreements, and they will require the college to make timely payments of debt service on the authorized bonds and to pay DASNY's fees. And each loan agreement will be assigned to the trustee with limited reservations of DASNY's rights, primarily with respect to the tax exemption of the tax exempt portion of the bonds, which is most of them, and with respect to fees. And as Gerard mentioned, so consistent with the authority's financing guidelines for independent institutions, the specific securities for these rated bonds and the obligation of the college are going to be determined by the underwriter and the college based on market conditions and current practices. And applying those, we currently expect that we will not have a mortgage on the bonds, and nor will they be secured by a lien on tuition. But each loan agreement will contain certain financial covenants. And then just finally, I wanted to add, I really on behalf of Mintz, I want to say I really appreciate the opportunity we do to serve DASNY. And I also want to thank you for the opportunity to work with Brown Hutchinson. We've worked together before, and it's been a terrific partnership, and we're glad to play our part in, helping firms emerging in this public finance space. And with that, Michelle and I are happy to answer any questions you may have.
It's Al Carney, Megan. I don't have any questions. I want to thank you for the role you have played in making this work for DASNY. Michelle, thank you very much for the work that you have done on this transaction. It's great to have the two of you working together. And we'll look forward to having that happen again if indeed it becomes possible. Gerard, happy to have you answer any questions that board members may have. And forgive me, Madam Chair, for stepping on your toes here. I'm sorry.
It's a natural thing. So
I can't help myself.
I
I'm
defer to
sorry.
you anyway, so.
I'm sorry, Daryl. Are there questions for Gerard or Michelle or Megan?
Okay, good. Okay, thank you for the presentation. I gather there are no questions for Gerard, Megan, or Michelle, and are there? Okay, I'll do what Gerard did. Any questions in Buffalo or Albany?
No questions.
And in New York? No?
Good.
So then I would like to have a motion to approve the transaction. Do I have one?
Sure.
Thank you, Gerard. Do I have a second? Wellington, my New York City crew coming through again. As well.
Here.
Are there any objections or abstentions to the motion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Aye.
The motion carries and the resolution passes unanimously. The next regular meeting is scheduled to be held September 8th in the Albany office. And I hope to see people in person, all in one room. It will be wonderful, even in Albany. Unless I have any further business to come before the board, can I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Wellington. Thank you, Gerard. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much, Carol.
We are now adjourned.
Excellent work,
Thank you
Carol.
all. Thank you.
Madam Chair,